I am Marty Rifkin. I am the owner of the Rifkin Group, president, and we are in the International Harvester building, 301 South Blount Street, which is just off the Capitol Square in Madison, Wisconsin. The building started out in two parts. In 1898, the first section was constructed. The next section was constructed, which is this section on this side of the brick wall. It was in 1910. The McCormick Machine Company used the original building for a branch house. It was in fact a sales office for their machinery and equipment. And it was pretty prominent amongst all of the machine equipment buildings along Williamson Street and Blount Street. Today it's a mixed-use building with individual spaces designed for tenants such as the Google space, which we're in now, which is about 5,000 square feet. When Google selected our building after they came to Madison and looked around, and when they finally chose ours, they chose it just because of some of its features. One of them had to do with the high ceilings, the walls, the brick, some of the features in the building itself. Design inspiration was really to keep as much of the original historic character of the building in place, and that was really the fun part of the renovation of the project. Some of the unique features in the Google space include the tractor cabin. They actually took the cab of a tractor and they set it in the center of the space, and they created a phone booth. The walls that are behind me are actually part of the elevator tower. It was a very large freight elevator, big enough for a tractor. When we dismantled the freight elevator, the doors, they were turned sideways and they became kind of space separators for some of their interior uses in the Google space. Another really interesting feature as part of the design that the architect prepared for their space was this kitchen area in which they used the Craftsman kind of toolboxes that you would see in a maintenance shop, but they are using it for such things as silverware and storage for food. The artwork is also quite unique and special that they've placed, and they've kept it within the theme of the McCormick International Harvester kind of period. You'll see as you come into this space some unique artwork that is hanging at the entrance of their lobby. In the space itself, there are various pieces of original artwork, some of which may have come either from the building or possibly they could have come from the State Historical Society or photographs that may have been replicated in some of the artwork that they had done here. But it adds a lot of flavor and character to the theme of the International Harvester building.
Electronic Theater Controls, or ETC, was started in 1975 with my brother and a few friends to make an early computerized lighting console. We're really providing a full range of equipment for theaters and television studios and theme parks to use to light their attractions and to light the shows. When ETC had the opportunity to design a purpose-built building, we really wanted to create a space that would be unique and reflect the culture of the company.
Well, I was the design architect for this project, and it was a really fruitful collaborative effort. The goal of this project was to really truly reflect the character and the personality of who ETC was. Well, what you see here in the town square is it's like a movie set. I mean, basically, there's some really obvious theatrical metaphors in this building. So the theatrical scrim is expanded metal product. Depending on whether you light the front of the scrim brighter than the back, you either see what's on the scrim or you see what's behind backstage.
Town Square particularly was envisioned as a place that the company would draw together and mix the different cultures within the company into the single whole of ETC.
One of the really fun things about Town Square is that all the various spaces are themed as storefronts. For example, you have the bank, where if you walk up those steps through there, you get to the finance department. The hardware store is where the manufacturing engineers are. And then there is Phillies, it's the cafe from Nighthawks Cafe. Right on the very back corner of this building in manufacturing is the metal shop. And this is a metal shop like no other. In their previous facilities, the metal shop was your typical metal shop, really dark, really grimy and all that. But if you were to go to the metal shop in this building now, it's got a white concrete floor, very well lit. One of my most satisfying things is to hear the supervisor of the metal shop speak about how this facility has transformed the way his staff works. The productivity, the morale has just gone through the roof.
We had this wonderful experience of deciding what the building needed to do for the company, deciding what it would look like, and looking at the opportunity to build a building for us all. One of my first and biggest fears was we would get under one roof and find out we didn't like each other very well. And that is why we wanted to create this environment for us to mix together.
I'm Chris Carpenter. I'm the president and owner of Royal Printing. We are a printing company located in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Royal Printing has been around for approximately 60 years. It was started by the Royal family, and I came into this business in 2000 when I purchased the business from Rich Royal. We're overlooking our press room floor, and we're in the process of printing one of our magazine titles in Business Magazine. Something that visitors to Royal find surprising is how printing actually takes place. So when we walk someone out to our press room floor and walk them to a press, what they see on one end is a big white roll of paper, and what comes off the other end are printed signatures, which are the pages of In Business Magazine. And the process is pretty seamless. Much of the creation and development of the magazine, of course, takes place on In Business's front. And files are sent to us, and then from that point our team takes over. The first step in our process is it goes through pre-press, where the pages are inspected and then the actual pages are put together in forms. The forms are then printed on our printing press, and as you can see, we're printing on our newest Sunday press. And then once the pages and forms come off press, they're assembled on our saddle stitching line, where the signatures are gathered, collated, saddle stitched, and we also inkjet address the address of the recipients of the magazine in line. From that point, the magazine is then distributed to the post office. The thing that's most fascinating about it is the speed at which this is done. These presses run at 70,000 impressions an hour. So in other words, we're printing 70,000 24-page signatures of In Business Magazine every hour. As a printer, we're certainly steeped in the tradition of what we do, putting ink on paper. But we've also coordinated a lot of efforts with e-media, taking some of the print magazines to an electronic version online. Having grown up in this area and attended the university here, I really didn't know a ton about printing, but I was approached to go to work for another local printer after graduating from college, and from that point forward I've been involved with the printing industry. What fascinates me about it is it's an age-old industry. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, but today print still plays a very important role in how we communicate messages in the media.